Hi, welcome to The Legend Lives On. It's a limited series, if you will, where we look at the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald that comes upon the heels of the death of the songwriter, Gordon Lightfoot, who wrote the song that we know of as the song that kind of reminds us that this ship actually existed and has kind of captured the story for all time in a great piece of music. Let me give you some frequently asked questions about the Edmund Fitzgerald. Where is the ship today? Well, it did sink. And so the freighter rests 530 feet below the surface of Lake Superior. The song, Superior, it's said, never gives up her dead. While the lake's average depth is 483 feet, its deepest point is over 1,000 feet. And so the Edmund Fitzgerald did sink at a point that was very, very deep. The ship is famous because it was a ship that had a history prior to its sinking that was pretty well noted. It was known in that region, and at the time was the largest ship that had ever sank. And of course, the Gordon Lightfoot song made the ship famous. Were the bodies ever found? The line says, Superior, it said, never gives up her dead. All 29 members of the crew died during the shipwreck, and none of the bodies were ever recovered. And so that begs the question, why does Superior never give up her dead? Well, in most bodies of water, the bacteria that decay sunken bodies cause bloating, which makes the bodies rise to the surface. I know that's gruesome, but since the average temperature of Lake Superior is 36 degrees Fahrenheit, bacteria doesn't grow there. As a result, the sunken bodies never resurface, and they take much longer to decay. And the cold water preserves the ship and other items as well. So why is Lake Superior so dangerous? Well, ferocious storms suddenly develop over all of the Great Lakes, sinking boats and ships of all sizes. On Lake Superior, volcanoes can appear as snowy hills, but then they erupt with a mixture of ice and sleet and water. And on the shoreline, even long currents and rip currents make swimming hazardous. Waves can reach up to 31 feet in height. And it's no surprise that over 10,000 people have been lost in this body of water. So, do people dive to the Edmund Fitzgerald? They used to try, but not anymore, because the Ontario government, as we mentioned in an earlier session, has now leveraged heavy fines for you being in the area. And so if you dive or operate side scan sonars, underwater cameras, and other submersibles there without a license, you are subject to penalties, maybe even arrest. And the government, because it is trying to detract people from coming, has put a lot of things in place to make that license very hard to get. And so where is it? Well, it is in the southeast portion of Lake Superior. It's 17 miles northwest of the Whitefield Point off of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And that is the place where the Edmund Fitzgerald sank. History is a great teacher of life, and as you think of that tragic loss of life and the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, it's easy to think that the crew did something wrong. But the reality is, it was a storm. Could they have navigated it differently? Who knows? The answer is they didn't. Storms are always looming out there in the distance. And so in your life, history dictates that we always are prepared for the storm. We know they're going to come. We don't always know how they're going to turn out, but we know that storms are reality. And so every day before the storm, you need to live to the fullest because you don't know when the storm is going to arrive. And when the storm arrives, hopefully you can rely on the things that you've learned that will help you survive. Tragically, for the Edmund Fitzgerald, they did not survive. But for most of the storms that you've faced in life, you have survived. I know that because you're listening to me right now. And so remember, storms will come. Jesus promised that. But you also can prepare for the storm and be ready when the storm hits. And so my advice to you is learn the lessons from the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and you become a legend and become legendary and allow your life to bless others as it lives on. Thanks for joining me for this series. A quick look at history and a quick look at a song.